Now, Senator Hickenlooper, I don't know if I've ever asked you, where are you originally from?
So I grew up outside Philadelphia.
What brought you to Colorado?
Well, I fell in love with geology in college. I'd gone to college in Connecticut, and so wanted to be a writer. So I have an undergraduate degree in English and creative writing, but I wasn't good enough as a writer. So I fell in love with geology and got a master's in geology, I had a choice of Houston or Denver, and so I came out to Denver just because it seemed, I don't know, more exciting. I didn't know anyone in Denver. Remember when I first came out, I was adrift. But I loved it. I told my mother, I'll be back in a year or two. But somehow I never moved back.
And when did you originally start thinking about politics? Because that's a swing from geology to politics. So when did that bug kind of bite you?
So I came out in 81 and I had 5 great years in the oil and gas business. And then our company got sold. There was a terrible recession. All the energy companies were upside down. So I was out of work for a couple of years. I mean, almost 2.5 years. And in that process, I had the idea. I'd been a home brewer, in the kitchen. I'd brew beer and bottle it. Um, and all of a sudden, brew pubs. I saw one in California where I was when I was visiting my older brother, and it was the beer had more flavor and less carbonation. And I came back and you know, talked to some friends, and we got a book out of the library on how to write a business plan because I was a geologist. I didn't know anything about pro formas or anything. Anyway, it took a couple years to raise money. My own mother wouldn't invest, but we finally got open in 1988 in Lodo, back when the rent was $1 per square foot. So we opened that restaurant, and like many small business guys, I did 70 hours a week for more than a decade, and then all of a sudden it just took off. It helped that they built Coors Field. After we'd been in business about 7 years, they built Coors Field a few blocks from the front door. I was lucky, like a lot of people work just as hard as I do and weren't as lucky as I was. And I suddenly was making more money than I mean, I was never going to have a private plane. But I got kind of entranced that some friends talked me into considering running for mayor of Denver. I'd never been involved in politics. So my first campaign in 2003 was for mayor of Denver, which is, a very a strong mayor form of government. The mayor, makes the budget, appoints all the people. City council has to, have 9 out of 13 votes to change a line item in the budget. So it was a very competitive race, and it turned out I kind of loved it. I loved bringing an entrepreneur's vision into trying to solve problems.
And then from mayor, obviously, I think a lot of people might know you as a former Colorado governor as well. But what do you think in your past professional or personal experience prepared you for your time in the US Senate?
Right when I first opened the restaurant and Lodo was abandoned, I mean, the rent was $1 a square foot per year. Um, I went to the other restaurants down there, McCormick's Fish House and the Wazi Supper Club, and I started putting up little posters in our vestibule advertising the competition. My staff said I was crazy. It's, this is dog eat dog. And I said, no, maybe our real competition is the TV set. Our job is to get people to get off the couch and get out the door and enjoy their family and friends. And if we do a good job and our competitors do a good job, they'll go out more often. And sure enough, that worked. And soon the other restaurants were they were promoting our restaurant, the Wine Coop, in their vestibules. And it was a rising tide. And that willingness to bring people together and work together, kind of when I first became mayor, that's really what I tried to do was bring all the suburbs together to work with Denver instead of always fighting with Denver. We went out to North Glen and Aurora and talked to those mayors. I went to their offices and said, we'll never be a great city without great suburbs. And we built this regional collaboration, and it worked. I mean, Denver started, this was in the 2003 to 2010. Denver really kind of started kicking up a storm. And that's when, then I ran for governor in 2011 or 2010, I guess. And that's, it turned out I didn't know this. I probably wouldn't have run, but I was the first Denver mayor in 120 years to get elected governor of Colorado. Because usually the mayor is always fighting with the suburbs and fighting with the rural parts of the state. Denver Water has senior water rights. And I kept saying, we will try to save more of our water to make sure there's more water for the ranchers and the farmers, make sure there's more water for the suburbs. And that collaborative approach was what the whole state wanted. And we went around the state and did economic development plans in every county, and all 64 counties created one massive economic development plan. And then we implemented that for the next 2 years. And my last 3 years as governor, U.S. News and World Report ranked us the #1 economy in the country 3 years in a row. And that's just building people, bringing people together and working together. So that's what I took to Washington. With not perfect success in the beginning, but we're building those relationships and working hard to try and find practical, pragmatic solutions to some of the most serious problems that face this country.
And remind our viewers and your voters, how long have you been in the U.S. Senate?
So about 5.5 years. So that's one. My first term is my reelection is in November, and we're very focused on the reelection. But at the same time, I'm here in Washington, every week or pretty much every week, and then come home on the weekends. And that commute is a little bit tiring. I mean, it's not. My grandfather said, if you're lucky enough to sleep in the bed you made, don't complain. So I'm not complaining about it, but it can be a little tiring. I've got my wife lives in Denver, and so and we have a 3.5-year-old son, Jack. So I come home on the weekends to see those guys and hang out with them as much as I can. But obviously, I've got to go out and do roundtables and go out to different parts of the state on the weekends as well.
And if you were to give voters an idea of what you think is your biggest accomplishment in the U.S. Senate, what would that be?
I was key in getting the Inflation Reduction Act passed. I was one of two senators that really stayed with Joe Manchin and helped him as he was trying to decide and make sure that we got it into a position that he could support, which he did in the end. And that's, the IRA is the largest investment addressing climate change in the history of the world. It was, $1.4 trillion effort to, really change how we think about climate change and global warming. I also was very involved in the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which brought, billions of dollars into Colorado for our roads and our bridges. We've done several $100 million for what they call Senate designated spending, but these are, investments that are, a big part of getting smaller towns if they need to do a sewage system or do their wastewater in a better way. I also was one of the key people that when some of the Republicans were trying to sell off literally millions of acres of our public lands, I kind of led the fight and got everyone here to rise up and say, some things aren't for sale. Don't you even think about selling our national forests?
And I want to ask, there's been some criticism around both members of the Senate and members of Congress when it comes to people needing to bring in fresh ideas. And there's been a push to get maybe some different candidates into those seats. Do you see there being a need for new ideas entering the Senate? And do you think that you would be able to do that?
I think that you always need new ideas, but you also need the experience and the relationships to make sure that the new ideas are the right ideas and that they can get done. We're working on a bill now. We call it price tag. Patients deserve price tags. Recognize that every doctor's visit, every X-ray, every procedure, every drug prescription that anybody gets. Right now, it's all opaque. You can't tell what your insurance company is paying for this or that. If you don't know what the prices are, let's say the companies like Walmart that have, I don't know how many, 200,000 employees that they're paying for their healthcare, they can't see what they're paying for. And so if you can never see prices, if there's no transparency, no wonder you have double-digit inflation every year in healthcare. And the American Medical Association estimates that the spend is about $5.3 trillion a year. $5.3 trillion a year, and then a quarter of that is waste, inefficiency, duplication, redundancy, some fraud. Our goal with total transparency is we believe that 25 to 50% of that can actually be saved either to individual people through their own insurance, or businesses through their insurance, or all the Medicaid and Medicare of the government. Probably a third of it could come back to the government, which could get us to universal coverage, right? When you look at that's a $1.35 trillion amount of waste. If you got a third of that, I mean, that's that's an awful lot of, hundreds of billions of dollars a year that could go toward making sure everyone has health care.
I've also read some criticisms around, and this is the phrasing in them, skipping debates or forums. Back in 2020, I believe you used a cardboard cutout of Cory Gardner on your campaign trail, called him Cardboard Cory, kind of pointing out his absence from some of these forums or moments where voters can really hear from both candidates in a race. Can you explain why you haven't been attending debates or forums?
Well, Cory Gardner wouldn't do any town hall meetings. I mean, that was the big rub on him. He wouldn't talk to the public in any form. So we've been doing town halls all over the state. We've done four candidate forums where candidates from both sides take their turns up on the stage. Um, I think if you look at how much we've gotten around the state, it's hard to say that we haven't gotten out and talked to people. Um, I also feel, and I understand this now, that when Corey was working, it's a full-time job, and the Senate doesn't slow down just because you're in a campaign. They'll obviously give us time down the road, but it's a pretty focused job. So again, I think we've gotten out there. I think most people know what I stand for and what my ideas are, what my accomplishments have been, and my focus on how we've been able to fight Trump right from the beginning. We've been one of his fiercest opponents, and not just the sale of public lands, but his illegal activities, closing federal agencies. We initiated lawsuits on that, making sure that, when his illegal tariffs are held to account, and we're fighting to get refunds for, Colorado businesses and ultimately Colorado individuals. And that's an ongoing fight, day in and day out. Anyway, I think we've been pretty open about that.
And then on the scale, the scale of democratic ideals, right? There feels to be like a spectrum right now. There's some that are maybe really far on these progressive ideals, and then there's some that maybe hit a little bit more centrist. Where would you rank yourself on that spectrum of being a Democrat? How would you describe what kind of Democrat you are?
I try not to think in those terms. I mean, probably I would be recognized as a moderate. I prefer to think of it as somebody who gets things done. I mean, my last 3 years as governor, as I said, U.S. News and World Report ranked Colorado's economy as the #1 economy in America. No other state's even done that twice in a row, let alone 3 times in a row. When they were trying to sell public lands, we stopped them, right? We went right after them and said, no, no, some things are not going to be for sale. We're not going to let this happen. When Trump had his slush fund that he was going to start paying the rioters who charged and attacked the Capitol, that several of our Capitol Hill police died during that insurrection. He was going to make them into victims instead of felons. I was one of the first people to go out there and say, this isn't going to happen. And I put an amendment onto a spending bill that they're trying to pass, and we stopped it right there. We did not, that bill did not go forward, and they had to revamp and recalibrate how they were going to go about that. So I look at what we've been doing, which is basically fighting Trump, and whether it's the tariffs or the healthcare cuts he's done, the violence of ICE. I mean, each one of these things, we go right tooth and nail and take it right to Trump. I think that's what people want. I don't think that's a question of being a moderate or an extremist. Trying to lower healthcare costs and get us to universal coverage. I mean, Bernie Sanders, I tease Bernie Sanders because I actually wrote a letter to the Middletown Press in Connecticut saying that healthcare, after all, shouldn't healthcare be a right and not a privilege? 2 years before the first time he ever said it, when he was running for mayor of Burlington. And I teased him saying, you look at me and you say that I'm a moderate, but we've had the same vision that everyone should have some healthcare coverage. Everyone should get, have a medical home where the doctor knows who they are and what's the history of their family. Affordable housing. When I was in business, we built 90 units of affordable housing in Lodo. So I know what it's like, all the red tape and bureaucracy, and what it will take to build more housing. I've done it. I'm not just talking about it. I've done it. And I think that's what a lot of Americans and what a lot of Coloradans are looking for in their candidates. They want people, everyone talks all the time. We need to get stuff done.
I do want to ask If you are picked as the Democratic candidate that makes it onto the November general election ballot for Colorado voters, what is your promise to the state?
My promise is that I will never stop fighting for the state of Colorado, that I think we are, without question, the heartbeat of innovation in this country. And we've done this before, and I think we can do it again to help lead the whole country to how do we get to universal coverage? How do we make home ownership a viable, realistic objective for young people growing up today? How do we get rid of the incredible tax or debt burden that so many students, when they come out of higher education now, they spend years paying off their debt? That's not fair. I think Colorado can be the place where we demonstrate we can create a model of what goes forward. And I think in the Senate, I can help make that model national policy. So that's the real goal, is to take so much of what Colorado's done already and make sure that that is translated into an efficient and successful set of laws by which we can, expand opportunity and it's a cliche, but expand opportunity uh, and the American dream to more people, to make sure that every American has a legitimate shot at the American dream.
And I've been wrapping up every interview with this question. Is there a fun fact about you? Something that people don't know, something that your voters don't know? We're not talking about it on the campaign trail. It's not like it's a little bit, what would be your fun fact that people just don't know about you?
I'm not sure what they know and what they don't know. I know, um, I mean, the fact that I was crazy about baseball. I went to Woodstock. I love music. I guess, I once played, there's a wonderful band called Old Crow Medicine Show. And they once sold out Red Rocks back in, I think it was 2014. But my wife knew their lead singer and band runner. So I got to go out and play my banjo in front of 9,600 people at a sold out Red Rocks concert. And then the lead singer made me sing what part of the leads on one song, which was just about killed me with fear. And yet, more powerful. The wave of energy that comes to you when you're out on that stage from the crowd is more powerful than anything I've ever felt in politics. It was amazing.
You went to Woodstock? That is so cool.
I know it's a long story.